bit of footage there was from day 2 of potato harvest, and it is now the morning after that. I was going to go on to explain why we have got that Bonza forklift on the go. So what happened yesterday was the higher forklift broke down. That locked its hydraulics out and locked itself in neutral. The engine would run and that was it. So then I got on the phone to my neighbour, asked could I borrow your forklift for a few hours until someone could come and look at this one. He very kindly said yes. Did about 15 minutes work with his forklift and the back tyre went down. Oh, that sounds like it was a repair that was done the other day, which probably wasn't done properly, because it very much had the symptoms of a nipped tube. Excuse me. So then I rang him back and said, your tyre's gone down. He said, well, if it gets you out of a muddle, you can go down the other shed and get the Bonza. So that's what we did. I was going to follow up with this description of what happened during the day yesterday. But then, oh, it gets better. Another section went on the Grimmy. So that came back to the yard. Started stripping that down. We'd more or less got a full day's work in again at this point, so stripped that down into the evening, and now Mr. Buttress has gone to get some bits for it this morning, and I've got one more roller just to strip down. I'm going to replace several sections that could potentially be an issue, just to try and foolproof the job a little bit whilst I've got it to bits. Here is the carnage spread across the floor from last night's stroke this morning. Roller segments everywhere. Ended up doing 2 rollers in the end. Thought there was one that was completely ripped apart on one roller, which we needed to sort out. Ended up just taking the whole thing off. Did that roller and did the one next to it as well, because the edge one on that didn't look very good. So I thought, let's try and play a bit safe. Bearings there. So yeah, did the roller sections, changed the bearings each end for the rollers we took off as well while they were off. And so far, the rest of the day has gone fairly well. We are I think we've got one trailer left in the last field. It is 5 o'clock, so that's timed in nicely for the end of the day. And ready to start in the next field tomorrow. We've got the narrow wheel trailer on here. That'll be empty, ready to open up the first headland in the morning in the next field. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have a bit of a smoother day. in here I've got the turbo off the JCB to show you. Let me just take it. I'll take it over here onto the back of this forklift so we can have a proper look at it. Quite impressive, really. Ignore the bits of grass. Anyway, there's the turbine propeller. Cracked the casing. Blown itself clean apart from the exhaust side. And not really sure why it's done it. However, it is now fixed. So we're back in the land of JCB, which is fantastic. Super appreciative to my good friend Mr. David Hearn for loaning me the Merlot. I just about got used to the controls as I'd finished with it and he took it back. That was a good machine, to be fair. Fairly, you know, they're not a big machine, here's one, but it was handling this job just perfect. So yeah, nice to have the JCB back. We'll hope that the new turbo lasts a good while. Well, we're halfway through the afternoon of day 4, so hopefully a few more hours with no calamities and we will have had a reasonably successful day. Started in a new field this morning, so a little bit of a slow start, but we're going along nicely now. Not too much on the muck trailer considering that's been going all day. Had a near miss with a segment on the multi-sep again this morning. Horseshoe this time, but a little bit of damage, but it's still going, so have a look at that at the end of the day. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with a nice little bit of drone footage of number 1, the harvest, and number 2, a little bit of synchronized forklift dancing, unloading and loading a lorry. Enjoy, like and subscribe if you would, and I'll catch you another day.